uh, let's get into it. Let's share my screen. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 45th chapter, text 1. Shishuka upacha Vitaravupalabdhartau viditva purushottamaha mabuditi nijamayam tatana jana mohinim. Translation. Shukadev Goswami said, understanding that his parents were becoming aware of his transcendental opulences, the Supreme Personality of Godhead thought that this should not be allowed to happen. Thus he expanded his Yogamaya, which bewilders his devotees. Purport. If Vasudeva and Devaki would have seen Krishna as Almighty God, their intense love for him as their son would have been spoiled. Lord Krishna did not want this. Rather, the Lord wanted to enjoy with them the ecstatic love of Vatsalya Ras, the relationship between parents and children. As Srila Prabhupada often points out, although we normally think of God as the Supreme Father, in Krishna consciousness, we can enter into the Lord's pastimes and play the part of his parents, thus intensifying our love for him. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that the word jana may be translated here as devotees. And as in the verse, Diyamanam na grinanti vinamat sevanam janaha. He further explains that jana may also be translated as parents, since jana is derived from the word jan, which is a causative form of janayate, which means to generate or to give birth to. In this sense of the word, as in janani or janaka, the word jana mohini indicates that the Lord was about to expand his internal potency so that Vasudeva and Devaki would again love him as their child. Om Jnana-timirandasya Ginanjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupakadam Mahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah. So before starting today, I would like to request the blessings of all the assembled devotees, especially the senior-most devotees, such as Adipurush Prabhu, and I don't know if Arjuna Prabhu is there, that I may speak something which is in line with our Guru Parampara, that is beneficial to our spiritual lives, and that our hearts may become fertile ground for this sublime message to take root on. So we are hearing today about Vasudeva and Devaki being put into the illusion that Krishna is an ordinary person. It's just a child, something like that. This, when probably we first come to Krishna consciousness, is something very interesting, because it's like, okay, so I'm in illusion right now, and then when I become liberated, I will be in illusion also. So, we live in illusion. But there's one type of illusion that is happy, and the other one that is painful. I'll let you guys decide which one is. But the reason why it's painful here in the material world is because we all want to be God, and we cannot be God. Sorry, that spoiler. We cannot be God. We all want to be happy. That's general, because Ananda Mayobhya Shat. We have the nature of happiness, of wanting to be happiness, and how to attain that happiness becomes twisted in this material world. Happiness here means getting things or getting people for my enjoyment. That's how we do we do it. And this requires a certain endeavor from us, right? So as a baby, we learn to do it by crying. And if you cry loud enough, if you cry long enough, you will get what you want. Hopefully, later you learn that that's not the way to get things. So we learn that maybe by hard work you can do it, or maybe if I have the right type of friends, so you start networking, or if you manipulate people, or if you cheat or lie, you can also get things. So we start getting this idea of prakriti kriyamanani gunah karvani sharvashaha ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate, which is the idea that I am the doer, kartaham. I am the doer, and everything is if I want to get, if I want to get something, it is by me. I have to do something about this. And therefore, this idea that I am the doer has to do with control. I have to control things. In order to get things, I have to control all these variables in a constantly changing environment, which makes it very challenging, right? If I need to control things to be able to get what I want, then I'll be in a lot of stress. There is an example. There was this movie, back in the early 2000s or late 90s, that was called Amélie. It's a beautiful movie, but anyway, the director of Amélie wanted to, he was very, he loved to make movies, and he loved to make movies in a studio because he could control all the variables in the studio. And he talks about how when he was making this movie Amélie, then it was just so challenging for him because he had to be outside. He had to be outside of a studio, and there are so many things that happen in real life that you just can't control. So he said that, for example, one day, he was going to shoot something, but there was a guy that parked right in front of the place where he needed to do. And he said, like, hey, I'm sorry, but we need the space to be able to shoot. And the guy gave him a mudra, a Kali Yuga mudra, hand gesture, which basically meant, I don't care what you think of me. I'll let you think about that. So the bigger the goal, the bigger the amount of control that is needed. If you want to get something really lofty, you must control a lot of variables. An example of this is, for example, Elon Musk. He wants to go to Mars. He wants to die in Mars. So he knows he has a limited amount of time, and he's pushing and pushing and pushing to be able to go there. And for this, he has to control so many things. He has to even control. He's frustrated because sometimes he has to try to control government agencies and things like that. And he can't. The amount of power, the amount of influence that he tries to get is just like reaching its limits. Just so much. But this can easily, you can see how this can easily go in a downward spiral. In the Bhagavad Gita, we hear this verse in the 16th chapter. Idam madhya maya labdam imam prapsye manoratam. Idam asti dam apime bhavishyati punar danam. And then it goes more, but the translation is, so much wealth do I have the demonic person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, and I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. So we understand here that it's not possible to really you know have this amount of power all around. It's we just can't keep on increasing our power because that is only God. And we're in a place where the game is rigged. Sorry. The game is rigged and we can't win. You can the house always wins here. And Maya is the house. So even if you can get so much power, so much everything, you will not be able to win the whole thing because at the end, you have a limited amount of time and then it's gone. Prabhupada was saying, I heard in a lecture yesterday that, this Napoleon, he said Napoleon, he wanted to be, he wanted to enjoy so much. But then, where is he right now? He had the power of all of Europe, and then it was gone. He wanted to enjoy, he wanted to be happy, but he couldn't exert enough power to get everything that he wanted. And the thing with this is that it's not just when we just run with this, when we allow ourselves to just go with this, it's not just control in our own lives, but we also want control in the lives of others. Because to get what I want, I need to control all the variables. So that includes the lives of others. And this creates difficulty for other people as well. Or in terms of because other people are also trying to control us, then it just becomes this whole mess. In some studies, it is revealed that the lifetime prevalence of controlling behavior, at least one form of it, is 63%. Women, the women that reported said that at least 63% was the lifetime prevalence of controlling behavior in their lives. And the lifetime prevalence of physical violence was 15%, and the lifetime prevalence of sexual violence was 3%. And it was also reported that the most prevalent controlling behavior was economic control. So we are seeing here that it can go down really bad. And the example of it is Hiranyakashipu, right? Hiranyakashipu, he did all the right things to get the maximum amount of power that you can possibly get in this universe, right? He became so powerful that he was unchallenged by there's three things that can bring us misery, right? Adhyatmika, adhibautika, and adidaivika. The problems that come from our mind and bodies, the problems that come from others, and the problems that come from natural disturbances. Hiranyakashipu, he was there. He got it all, and he controlled everything. And yet, because he needed to control every single variable, he wanted to control also his son. And that son, his smallest son, 5 years old, Prabhupada says, 5 years old, he could not control him. Actually, Prahlad was even a nice boy. He wasn't even like a problem child, really. He was respectful, he was nice, but there was just one little problem with him. Just one little problem. He sided with his enemy. At 5 years old, he was siding with his enemy. And this was just intolerable for him because he said, I can't have this. And he tried to have him killed because he said that it was like a diseased part of a body that you have to cut off before it kills the whole body. So he was even willing to kill his 5-year-old son to be able to control, because if he had no control over him, then he knew that later on that little piece, that little tiny piece over there in the corner would devastate everything, because he also noticed that Prahlad was having power. He had a certain power that he could not be killed by anything. So he said, I'm going to personally go and kill him. So this is how bad it can get. But there is so much relief when we just let Krishna be the controller. Let him be the controller. You know what? I don't need to be God. let Krishna be the controller. I have a friend, a colleague at work, and he recently got a job, and he's very happy about it. But then he started thinking like, oh my God, I have to think about how I'm going to move, and there's a problem that the place where I'm going to move is so expensive, and I don't get my paycheck until this time, and but to get a mortgage you need payments, and it was getting like very very complicated very fast. And I just told him at some point, like, yeah, in my tradition, we just trust that, when we just become so like that, we just do our best. We try our best, but then we just let God, deal with it. We do the best thing, and we know that Krishna will have our backs. And this is just so relieving. And he thought he thought about it for a minute, and he said, like, I can totally see how that is the case. He said, I don't believe in God and like that, but I can totally see like the benefit of something like that. He said, it was funny because he said, like, I think I'm not ready right now to do this, to accept this, but uh I can see that, in how this could be. And he kept on saying, like, I'm not ready right now. And that for me was like, Jai. It's like, okay, you're not ready right now, but guess what? I gave you prasad already. So and you have got and you have done a little bit of devotional service here and there. So it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, that's we always have to try to give people, as Adipurush Prabhu says, the opportunity to do devotional service in one way or another for their own benefit. So yeah, just this idea that things don't only depend on me, that actually, like, I do my best, but let God take care of it. And we know that it will go the best way possible. Because when we surrender to God, suddenly, like, that thing that my happiness all depends on me is goes out the window. It just, how nice it is to think that everything that I'm doing is being taken care of by Krishna. All I have to do is serve him with love. Like when you have a good boss, okay, let me just do my work as hard as I can, and I know that my boss, he will take care of everything else. He will he will take care of my retirement. He will take care of my paycheck. He will take care of my insurance, everything. He will do like that. So Krishna is the best employer. Krishna is the best employer. Uh, he has some what is that Hridayananda Maharaj said? Like, yeah, the pay is not good right now, but the afterlife benefits are incredible. So Uh, when we allow Krishna to be God, and just serve him, that there is this happiness that comes. There is this relief. But then there's one extra step to this, and is that uh, Krishna, what he really wants is love, and love in the strongest way, because he is Rasaraj. He likes to taste the mellows. He's an expert connoisseur, Prabhupada says. He's a connoisseur of mellows. And so he knows that if we just treat him as God Almighty, it's not going to be as nice as when we treat him in a more intimate way. And so it is said in the Vedas that Krishna is not as pleased with the great prayers of the sages and the Vedas as he is with the chastisements of the gopis. He likes that more. That their love is so powerful that he is conquered by it. And because of that, then because he can be conquered by that love, then he doesn't give it so easily. That is why we're being tested. We're being tested right now, to see, like, okay, how pure is your love? Because Krishna is going to give his heart, and he doesn't want to be manipulated by somebody who has ulterior motives. We don't want to be manipulated by somebody who has ulterior motives, right? So Krishna, likewise, because he is a person, he's the supreme personality of God, but he is a person. He also doesn't want to be manipulated by a person with ulterior motives, but just completely. He wants us to completely have that faith in him and that love in him, and for that, he sometimes needs to use his Maya potency, his yoga Maya potency, so that we can forget about the fact that he is God, so that we can forget about the fact that he can take care of himself. When we think of him as just a little boy, a little cowherd boy, then it's okay. I just love him for who he is, not for what he has. Don't we all want that? Just love me for who I am. That is Krishna. That is why he uses his Maya potency. Just love me for who I am. And that is why there are so many amazing, beautiful descriptions in the Bhagavatam about Krishna's life. We have the 10th canto goes into 4 volumes, right? Most other cantos, they're like 1 or 2 volumes. This is 4, because Shukadeva Goswami wants to go into detail as to Krishna's pastimes, because there you can really see who Krishna is within his own, as a person, and we can fall in love with that person. How can we love somebody we don't know? That's something that I always begin when I talk to somebody who is new to Krishna consciousness. The first commandment in the Bible is that you should love God with all your heart, with all your might, right? But how can you love somebody you don't know? So here we have beautiful descriptions of not only what Krishna looks like, but also what he is like. Just becoming enamored by him, and that knowledge of Krishna makes our heart grow fonder of him, and therefore Yoga Maya at some point can cover us to forget about the fact that Krishna is God, and just see him for who he really is. There's a beautiful pastime where we hear like this, how Krishna can be controlled, some way. And dynamics of control here. And it is said that this heard from Angel Dyumna Swami. There is this in which Krishna was once well, actually it was Ranga Devi and Sudevi, which are twins, right? Yes, in Krishna consciousness we have everything. We even have twins. So we have Sudevi and Ranga Devi, which are twins, and they are part of the Ashtasakis, the eight principal Sakis of Krishna. And they were going to the market, to sell some butter. And along the way, lo and behold, is Krishna with Madhumangal. And they said, okay, dear gopis, I see that you have something, carrying something very nice with you. But this road here was built by my grandfather. And if you want to pass, you have to pay some tax. And they were like, Krishna, I don't think so. Like, what is this thing, of tax? We're not going to pay you anything. And so Krishna said, oh, really? So he and Madhumangal with their sticks, they broke those pots and they started eating the butter from it. And Ranga Devi and Sudevi got so mad, because he just ruined everything, right? They were going to go, now they can't. So they got so mad that they just left the place and they went straight to Srimati Radharani. And they said, dear Shri Radhika, you have to do something about this Krishna. He look what he did. He's just like, out of control. And she said, and well, why don't you go to somebody else, like Mother Yashoda. And she said, we've already gone to Mother Yashoda, but she's so blinded by love for him that she doesn't understand what we say. Again, Maya, Yoga Maya is covering her, so so she doesn't understand. And we also went to Nanda Maharaj, but he just laughs at us. And we went to Rohini, but whenever we go to Rohini, she just finds fault with all of our with all of our arguments. And when we go to Balaram, he's just insane. He just starts laughing, at all of what we're doing. So, we have to come to you. And she said, like, but if these great then Radhika, she said, but if these great personalities could not help you, how can I help you? And they said, well, just as a bee is controlled by a flower, and just as a peacock is controlled by a cloud, so is your dear Krishna controlled by you. And she said, okay, very good, I will help you. I make a vow that I will never see Krishna again. I'm just, he has to stop. This is too much. I vow that I will never see him again. I will not contact him again. That's it. He can't be doing this to my gopis. And then right at that moment, like, some gopis are like, hey, Krishna's coming. Oh my God, Krishna's coming. Okay, so they she was like, what do I do? Like I just vowed that I would not see him. So she just hid behind a curtain, because Krishna was coming down the hall right now. So she just hid behind a curtain. And then Krishna came and said, Sri Radhika, where are you? Radha, where are you? And she said, like, who wants to know? What do you mean, who wants to know? Your Madhusudan is here. And she said, oh, Madhusudan? You mean a bee? Because Madhusudan in Sanskrit also means a bee. Well, if you're Madhusudan, then you should go to the garden. And he said, what? It's Gopal. It's Gopal. And she said, like, oh, So Gopal means, cowherd. So if you're a Gopal, then go to the fields and graze your cows. And he said, like, come on, Radha, stop playing these games with me. You know, I'm your Ganasham. Your Ganasham also means dark cloud. She said, like, oh well, if you're Ganasham, then go and feed the thirsty fields. And then Krishna was like, okay, I get it. Like she doesn't want to see me. Uh, and then he thought to himself, you know what? The only thing to do right now is just give it time. Only time will bring her back. So he left. And then at that point, Shirada, she was just like, she fell to the floor and she was just like, I can't do this. Like I've lost him. I've lost him and it can't, and now it's all my fault and what do I do now? And she was just like crying like that. And then all the gopis, went up to her and they said, like, don't cry, Radha. Like we'll get you back with Krishna. And because they were seeing her pitiful condition. She said, like, I vow I'll never be mad again with him. I vow that I will never accuse him of anything. About she was just and then she, uh then at that point, Ranga Devi said, I will go in and fetch him for you. And she said, will you do that? Yes. So Ranga Devi, she left and started looking for Krishna. And then she saw Krishna by the bank of a river, like Henry Prabhu is right now. And he was there just, just like in a pitiful condition, just throwing pebbles at the river, just like that. And she said, oh, Krishna, uh, has Mother Yashoda, you know, been, has Mother Yashoda done anything, to make you this way, or chastise you in some way that you're like this, or has Balaram, neglected you, or have you lost something? And Krishna at that point he said, uh, if uh, just as if the moon right now has lost its cooling power, and as the waves of the Yamuna have lost their way, just as the river Yamuna has lost the waves, and just as the lotus has lost its fragrance, I have lost my everything, my Radha. And then she said, don't cry, Krishna. I'll get you with Radha. He said, like, how? She doesn't want to see me. She's like that. And she's like, you don't know the power of the gopis. We can stop time. We can we can control the sun. With us gopis, we can control the weather. We can control the demigods, and Radha, we can get you with Radha back again. And then Krishna found some hope in that. He said, but then how will we get back together? She said, just meet us here at night, and we'll bring you Radha. So she went back, and Sudevi and Ranga Devi, they started bringing Radha. But then Radha said, like, how can I go there? I mean, people are going to see me and they're going to ask, what are you going to do? like what you're a respectable lady. What are you doing in the middle of the night? So they said, don't worry, Radha. We we have thought of everything here. Um, we're going to we've put dust of Raja in your ankle bills so that the ankle bills don't make any sound, and your mascara and your shadow will cover you for the night. And they gave her also like this dark cloak to put her. And then I think it was Ranga Devi, the one that was leading the way with the lamp of separation. And in this way, they brought Krishna and Radha back together again. The gopis are so powerful that they can bring together these lovers, and they can do everything. So, if we really want to be most powerful, we just have to serve the most powerful. And there's no power as great as love. But here we understand that it's not just like mundane love. It's not just kama. It's prema. It's prema bhakti. That is the strongest. We have a few minutes if anybody has any questions, comments, or really awesome jokes for this morning. Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Unmute. That was his awesome joke.
Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, we had a conversation with a very thoughtful young man from the Netherlands last night. And he said, I'm looking at this whole thing, this guru business. He said, it seems like a good business if you're a guru. Everybody has to do what you want. And they have to give you everything. And he said, how do you know if a particular person who claims to be a guru, how do you know if he actually loves you? Or he's just trying to get you into the guru business? Hello?
Yes, Prabhu.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What would you say to this person?
Well, the gurus actually, they
He said,
what I've heard from what I've heard is
what?
that the gurus feel themselves like garbage trucks where people just dump all their problems onto them. It's actually very difficult being a guru. Because yeah, like everybody's coming, with their problems to you. Yeah, it seems like they get nice prasadam, but they also have to give more than anyone else. Is sometimes they may get like a nice prasad, but it's not prasad that they want because it's not according to their diet and like that. But they have to take it to be able to reciprocate with the person. So they have to do that. Sometimes they want to go early to sleep, but they can't because they have these late programs. So they have to extend themselves and go to bed late and then wake up early the next morning to do some. It's not, if you see, the guru is the servant of others. It's servant leadership what we're talking about here. So if you just think of a guru as getting everything like nice, yeah, like sure, that's what you're seeing, but go a little bit deeper into actually the lives of these gurus. And you will see that, their lives are just dedicated for others, to uplift others. Prabhupada, yes, he was treated as the king like that, but how much was he working? Even his disciples, which were so young, they couldn't keep up with him. This is something that I would make that person consider, that it's not about getting more, being a guru so that I can get more. It's being a guru so that I can give more to others.
Yeah, it's a very good point that it's not an easy job. Try it. And what he was asking, well, how do I know? How do I know? And our response was, well, the scripture tells us that if you want somebody in your life who's worthy of your trust and obedience, somebody who's really there for you and who is connected to his guru and to scriptural wisdom and to only trying to give you the guidelines offered by the Lord. If that's the quality of person you want, then Krishna will send you that quality person. But if you're looking for some cheater who's really not qualified, so you have a good excuse not to be obedient, then that's the kind of a person that will come into that role of guru with you. But somewhere there's got to be a genuine personality who's worthy of our trust and obedience. And Krishna sees our heart. And when that's what we want, I want the truth, Lord. I want to surrender to you. I want to come close to you. I want to know how to please you. I want somebody who's worthy of my complete trust and obedience. Then Krishna sends us that kind of person. Anyway, and then you'll know, because we have a responsibility ourselves. What do you ask for? That's what you're going to get. So, and
Yes.
you know what you ask for, and you ask for something genuine, and we understand that Scripture says that the Lord will give you what you're asking for, specifically what you're asking for. What do you want? Because I said this is a very profound question. How do you know if this person actually loves you, that he's there for your benefit, or if he's just in the guru business, and trying to get you on his list of names? It was a good question. I could see it right from the heart. I
Yeah,
think
and we don't just go directly and say like, oh, here's the guru. Like there's a period in which we're both testing. The guru's testing us, and we're testing the guru to see what this person is like. We hear about his behavior. We see how he or she works. It's an evaluation both from the guru to us and from us to the guru. And when we develop faith in this person, then we take shelter. It's faith in our tradition is very important. It takes us from Shraddha, just like a little bit of faith that maybe this works like that, all the way up to prema. It is that faith that comes from experience, not blind faith, but faith, experience-based faith. That is what we're after. That.
here
Thank
come
you.
Radharmodi are coming.
Jeffrey Eckler is wearing saffron. Are you in the guru business, Jeffrey Eckler?
Hare Krishna, I have a bridge to sell you to Vaikuntha.
Jai. I want to go to the bank of the Jamuna River with Henry Prabhu. He has a mention there.
Here's our stairway to heaven.
Krishna looks very satisfied. Give him lots of love to take care of him. He's so satisfied. And he puts his foot like that. Oh, man.
Jai. This was the class. This was the darshan. Thank you, Murli Gopal Prabhu. Very nice. Glorification of Krishna, as always. And you're a very nice and sincere devotee. After this class, I can go out and I can easily spot a phony, guru, a phony new age kind of thing. I can easily classify, because, we understand by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. We see by hearing, we experience by hearing. After a class like this, I can easily go out there and see, this is the guru business. This is a genuine person. Thank you, Murli Gopal, for that. Thanks everyone for participating. It's Saturday. We're wishing you a fulfilling Saturday. Serve Krishna. And you'll become like Jeffrey Eckler, beaming with light. Is that Brahma Jyoti shining through you, Jeffrey Eckler?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. When you identify those false gurus, then you'll be able to move the mountains in front of them and bring them with you.
I'll give them prasadam.
Haribol.
That's my qualification. Yeah, we were recently in the car, and a person in distress approached, and we didn't have anything to give. And so we resolved to have some snacks in the car at all times. I heard Radhanath Maharaj won't even get in the car unless there's prasadam to give out. So if you drive Radhanath Maharaj, make sure you have khichdi, rice, and dal in the back. Fill up your trunk with khichdi.
The devotees in Mumbai, they all have, like an unspoken rule that everybody should always keep some prasadam in their car, because there's just so many poor people panhandling in so often that it's like, okay, so have something for them, like that. And it seems that it also works for the police as well. People are very, very pious in India.
Yeah.
We do this all the time here in New York. We always have prasad in the car, little small packages, and I wish I could record the voices, because there's people begging on the street corner when this car stops, and they've already gone through like 1,000 cars and nobody even opened the window. And then when you give them something, please accept this. This is for you. I wish I could. I really want to start recording when they say, "Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you." The things that
Yeah, and
they
then
say.
all of a sudden they're talking normally, like a normal person.
Beyond that, you'd think this is actually an angel in disguise or something. Because they say, many of them say, "God bless you, really. Thank you very much. I'm grateful for this." We say it's just a small something. Please accept this. It's such a sweet exchange. The tone of their voice and the words that they choose to say are so piercing.
One time, Gopal Champu Prabhu on Harinam in Union Square, where all those chess players are, all those characters congregate there. So Harinam was there, and they had some prasadam to distribute, some khichdi on the paper plate. So he offered it to one of those local characters, and the guy spat in Gopal Champu's face, and he said, "Who do you think I am? Do you think I'm your dog?" And Gopal Champu said, "Hare Krishna." He didn't fight back or anything, but that can also happen. But the glory is that we're attempting to serve, and the result is up to Krishna. Krishna has seen the Gopal Champu's effort and rewarded him in that way. Gopal Champu is cool. He's fine. He didn't take an offense. He's a devotee. He's a Vaishnava. I got spat at yesterday, by the way. I wanted to share my glories. Yeah, he was good. He was good at crazy guest. We took care of her. God bless her heart. Yeah, we should thank Krishna for sanity. Whatever little sanity we have here, we should not take it for granted and thank Krishna for it. Yeah, because not everybody has that. Is Bhima Prabhu on this call? No, he left. He has some important business with Bhima Prabhu. More important than the afterglow. Can't believe I'll chastise him heavily. Okay. All right. Would anyone like to say anything? Any realizations on spitting? No, Adi,
Well,
did you raise your hand?
there's the pastime of Lord Chaitanya, when Shivananda Sen came from Bengal, and he brought all of the devotees from Bengal to Jagannath Puri, so that to stay for the 4 months of the Chaturmasya, and especially for the Rath Yatra. And when Shivananda Sen came there, he saw Lord Chaitanya. He was eating coconut pulp, chewing it, and then spitting it. And then there was a dog, and he was catching it with his mouth. And he would eat more, chew it, and then spit it, and the dog would eat it.
That was Jeffrey Eckler in his past life.
And this dog was later seen just walk. It was seen like walking on its two hind legs, going like this, and with all of his hairs of his body completely straight like that. And they saw the dog going back to Godhead.
Nice. I thought you were going to say this dog was later seen in morning class. That's a possibility, right?
Well, this was simpler than that. It was The dog just got the Lord's prasad directly from his mouth.
Yeah, wow. See, mercy goes where we can't go. Bruce Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, good morning. I just am reflecting since you've said it. It's just so fascinating to get up, go to work. I'm not particularly fond of the work that I do on a daily basis. And the challenges in the people that I'm there serving comes with a lot of anxiety, stress, and just on some levels, belittling of self, even in certain cases. And yet, on my regular service, I can run to that service and just, there is no anxiety. It just comes so from the heart and it comes so freely. And, you know, I rarely leave a day at my job where I'm just like ecstatic and just happy and walk out to the street and feel like I'm bouncing on my shoes. And then yet I leave Bhakti Center so often where I just feel free and I just feel light. So I just wanted to reflect on this and just this idea that the pay is not so good now, but you're buying into your, for paying into your future. I don't know if I so much agree with that because it's almost like the pay is rewarded back in so many other ways that that's the pay and it just well worth any effort, any small effort that you put out, the return is massive. So just wanted to reflect on that and just thank you for bringing up this point. And it is something that I have such a contrast in my life from one to the other, and just so grateful that I'm here attempting to serve Krishna. Haribol.
Thank you, Bruce Prabhu. Very inspiring. Yeah, the return is massive.
Massive.
Okay. Okay, it's nice spending the time with you, dear devotees. Murli, Gopal, Jeffrey, Eckler, Bruce, Vanisha, and Whiskey, Amrita Kishori, Yogeshwari, Suzanne, the humanity at large. Jeffrey Eckler is showing us his Svarupa, his spiritual form. Woofing. Jai. Okay, Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful day. Woof, woof.